So Baltimore Ravens first-round draft pick wide receiver Rashod Bateman, who was just recently signed to a contract extension this year with the Baltimore Ravens, is primed for a monster breakout season. He had an absolute monster day at training camp today. We also got Derrick Henry addressing the new offensive scheme that he's going to be rushing in, as well as Nate Wiggins making some plays today in training camp, some interceptions, Odafe Owe addressing the media, and much more Ravens news. So welcome in to another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock, as always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Ravens today, man. If you guys have been enjoying these episodes of Ravens Reports covering training camp and much more, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, and I would truly appreciate it, man. I love you guys. Let's dive into the content. At number 1, Derrick Henry. He talks about the brand new offensive scheme that he's going to be playing in Baltimore, because with the last few years, his entire career with the Tennessee Titans, he's never really had a 100% elite offensive line. He's never really had a mobile quarterback or elite weapons all around him in the offense. He's really been the offense. He's been the focal point. Now he's here in Baltimore, where he's got a dual threat quarterback, one of the best of all time, if not the best. He's got Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Rashod Bateman, which we're going to talk about. He's got Todd Monken in this second year of this offense. He's walking into a top 5 offense already, and you're adding one of the best running backs of all time. He's not just the focal point of the offense anymore. He was asked about that. And if you look at Derrick Henry's total career production, about 75% of his yards came after contact, because a lot of times, with being the focal point of the offense, defenses are dialing up run blitzes, trying to hit him behind the line of scrimmage before he gets that locomotive train moving downhill, because once he gets going, it's hard for him to be stopped. And in this offense, I have a good idea, a good feeling that with Lamar Jackson having the option of tucking that ball and keeping it on those RPOs and the bootlegs and nakeds, the quarterback, all the stuff that you can do with an athletic quarterback in the run game, it's going to open up a lot of space for Derrick Henry to work. When he was asked about the new scheme, he just kind of chuckled. Here's what he had to say.
A system where you had first contact a little bit earlier, closer to the line of scrimmage than has been happening. Your running backs here in Baltimore, about half the yard difference. How much between Lamar and the offensive line and the run scheme and whatnot? How much did that play into your decision to come here?
I mean, just watching them through the years and playing against them, it's the style that they play with. The offense that they run, having Lamar, who's different, who's really different. So, that played a big factor into it as well. And then the success that they had last year, something I definitely, want to be a part of, and be an added piece to this offense. And it's always been a certain type of culture and the style of play that the Ravens play, and something that I was excited to come be a part of.
Yeah. So in the middle of the question, he just kind of goes, whenever asked about, the contact near the line of scrimmage. Derrick Henry looks absolutely monstrous. He looks like a defensive end, a 6'3" powerhouse with elite speed, carrying the football, down in, down out, just that God-given ability, that natural physical build and tools and talent that he has. And I am welcoming it here in Baltimore. I can't wait to see it. All I know is I'm making sure I draft Derrick Henry in my fantasy football league this year. At number 2, if you haven't seen already, Lamar Jackson was sick again and was not able to attend today's training camp practice, but much of the practice was conducted in heavy rain. The defense mostly dominated. This is reported with Eddie Jackson, Nate Wiggins, and Trammell Walthour having interceptions in today's practice. Rashod Bateman having 2 highlight reel catches in the rain. And at number 3, speaking of Rashod Bateman, man, the expectations for Rashod Bateman are going through the roof. You guys can trash me, run me through the dirt in the comment section below, man. But I'm so high on Rashod Bateman that I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm so excited about his talents and his abilities, and I believe in him, that I think Rashod Bateman is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver this year. I'm putting it out on record. I'm going out there. I was trying to try to be cute with it and be like, oh, yeah, Bateman, he'll have 600, 700, 800 yards, a few touchdowns. He'll have an increased role in Todd Monken's offense. But no, man, like this guy, whenever he's been fully healthy, look in 2022, look at his rookie year. Anytime he's been healthy on the football field, he's absolutely cooked corners. And even last year, as the season went on and Odell started to go out with injury, Rashod Bateman, look at the tape. Like, he was consistently creating separation, and just the ball was not always finding him And I believe in Rashod Bateman, man. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going with Rashod Bateman with 1,000 yards. Obviously, my expectations for Rashod Bateman are there. The route running ability, the 4.4 speed, the yak. He can make guys miss after the catch. And now Todd Monken's going to get to see him in training camp. Last year, Todd Monken, his first year as a coordinator, didn't get to see Bateman in training camp at all, so he's not going to dial up plays with Rashod Bateman being the number 1 or number 2 progression in the route whenever he hadn't seen him at all during training camp. It's just not the reality of the situation. This year, he's seeing what Rashod Bateman can do. It started today in camp whenever he's making highlight reel catches. And even last year, Lamar Jackson said whenever Rashod Bateman came back at the end of camp that's wide receiver 1. Obviously, Zay Flowers emerged as the wide receiver 1 whenever the season came to be, but Lamar Jackson, that's what he said about his wide receiver in Bateman there, who was drafted in the first round with very high expectations. Now, we have high expectations for Rashod Bateman, but Rashod Bateman also has high expectations for the team as a whole. When he was asked about his goals and expectations, he just says Super Bowl. It's not about me, but I do expect to have a bigger role. Here's what Rashod Bateman had to say.
You want to achieve this season? When you envision that success, what does that look like?
Super Bowl. It's not about me. I need to do what's best for this team, whatever that is, whatever my role is. I expect my role to be bigger. I'm ready to take on that role. So we'll see what happens.
Rashod Bateman is indeed going to have a bigger role in this offense. I think he's going to be the bona fide starting X wide receiver consistently on the field. And if he's healthy, look out for Bateman to do some good things this year. At number 4, Nate Wiggins had an interception today. That's very encouraging because so far the Ravens' hit rate with corners in the first round, they just don't miss at corners in the first round, man. When they have a corner they like and they draft him early and they have their target set on a guy, they just don't miss. They have a defensive pedigree, an eye for corners. John Harbaugh specifically loves to scout corners, as well as the other scouts, Eric DeCosta. These guys have a knack for drafting corners. And it looks like they were accurate yet again with Nate Wiggins because he was sticky in coverage all day today. And he also had one bad rep with the defensive holding call, but he also had a nice interception. So Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey and Brandon Stevens as those 3 starting lockdown corners with the versatility of Marlon going in to the slot, the versatility of Kyle Hamilton going into the slot, having Arthur Maulette, who also had a pick, I believe, yesterday, then Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson, who was starting today, who had a pick today as well, man. The secondary is so loaded and it's very deep. If a guy goes down, there's enough talent around them to not see a big drop-off. I'm so excited for this secondary. I truly believe the Ravens are building a no-fly zone. And if they can have the front end create consistent pressure and match what they're able to do in the back end, we're talking about an elite defense in 2024. And at number 5, let's talk about that front end pressure with Odafe Owe. He says they're ready to hunt. Here's what he had to say.
Same time around this year, before Jadeveon was even here, the same mentality. You guys didn't even know that we were going to get 60 sacks last year. So this is kind of the same mentality. We're just trying to hunt. We're going to continue to hunt, continue to get better on the truck. Still got Kyle. Kyle made a lot of great plays for us as well. So, I'm very grateful for what Jadeveon, brought and also taught me and everything. But, it's the next man up. So we're ready.
So Odafe Owe worked with Justin Madubuike, David Ojabo, and Tavius Robinson in the offseason in Atlanta with the special pass rushing coach that Justin Madubuike worked with last year before he broke out, leading the entire NFL in interior defensive lineman sacks with 13 sacks, and leading the entire NFL. That's the guy that they went and worked with. And they also have Chuck Smith, who is continuing to groom these guys and helped lead the Ravens to the most sacks in the entire NFL last year by a wide margin. So this pass rush, it lost to Jadeveon Clowney, but they do have Kyle Van Noy back. They have a hungry and talented Odafe Owe, and they also have David Ojabo, who is looking really good. He was drafted in the second round, would have been a first-round top 15 type of pick if it wasn't for that Achilles tear at the pro day. And he's finally healthy, and he's back earlier than expected. And Odafe Owe says he has high expectations for David Ojabo. If Owe and Ojabo live up to their talent, their raw physical abilities, and their draft status, man, this is going to be an elite pass rushing duo, an overall elite pass rush in general, with a nice rotation of guys staying fresh with Latavius Robinson, Owe, Matabike, Travis Jones, Michael Pierce, Broderick Washington. Man, there's a large list of guys that I want to get after the quarterback. And David Ojabo, if he's healthy, he's going to be a big part of that. He's looking healthy. And here's what Odafe Owe said about Ojabo looking really good.
Just waiting to show you guys all it, when it's sharpened and ready. And I have complete faith in him. He's a guy where, like, he just wants everything to be all together before he shows you. And he's going to be ready, trust me. Like, he looks good, like, real good. And I saw a lot of that when we were in Atlanta. I see it now. I have a lot of confidence in David. Yeah.
And because I've seen so much variety and a wide array of expectations and opinions and evaluations on both Odafe Owe and David Ojabo, like, I really want to hear your honest thoughts in the comment section below on your expectations for them. What's the sack production that you are looking for from Ojabo and Owe? Let me know the amount of sacks you think each one of those guys are going to get in the comment section below, just to have an idea of what the fan base feels in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts, man. As always, smash the like button if you enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so we can make sure you're up to date on all of your Ravens news and content. We got some fun stuff planned for you. We are very close to the season. Let's look here. We're officially 45 days from Ravens-Chiefs kickoff on Thursday Night Football to open up the NFL season. 18 days away from the preseason against the Philadelphia Eagles. And, man, football is back, and I'm fired up for it, man. I love how football, brings people together from all different walks of life. It brings unity, and it's an amazing sport, and we get to talk about it here with you guys, and I absolutely love it. I appreciate y'all, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.